What's going on, Swag Train? We back at you with another episode. We coming at you on a different angle, different perspective from what we're usually used to doing. Today we're here with the lovely Miss Georgia Woodbine. She wrote a book on how to attract the right man. How you doing, and welcome to Swag Train.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay. So tell the viewers about your book that you recently just written.
How to Attract the Right Man into Your Life, No More Settling. That's the title and the subtitle. And the foundation of the book started because of my own personal struggles, finding my Mr. Right. And having to go through the period where I wasn't in a relationship to find out what I really wanted in a relationship for a man. So that's really what inspired me to write the book.
Okay, cool. Can you break down the viewers, tell the viewers about some of the chapters that you talk about in your book?
Absolutely. Some of my favorite chapters, the do's and don'ts to attracting the right man. I have a chapter called What Do Men Really Want? And also recognizing the red flags while you're dating. What other? Setting the standards, like setting up the standards for what you're looking for in a relationship early. So those are just some of the hot topics I talk about in the book.
Chapter in the book talking about the red flags. What are the red flags that women should look for when they are trying to attract this right man they're looking for?
Well, they're always there, the red flags, but I think a lot of people choose to ignore them. Like if you're dating a guy and for some reason he doesn't want you to know where he lives, it could be one or two things. Either he's married or he's living with another woman, since he doesn't want you to know where he lives. Another red flag is if the person is very controlling, if you see that this person has like a very dominating personality and you could tell that they're always like trying to control a situation, that might be something to look out for as far as somebody being mentally abusive or physically abusive. Another thing I talk about with recognizing the red flags is how to see how a man treats his family, how he treats his children, how he treats the people that he loves. Because if you can find out these characteristics early in a man, how he treats people close to him, that's going to give you some hints on how he's going to treat you as a woman in a relationship.
Okay.
So those are just a few of the things I talk about.
Does this book benefit us guys as well as the females, or it's just basically for a female?
Absolutely, men can read this book. When I did a couple of book signings, I actually invited men and women to come to the book signing because I wanted women to hear what the men had to say and the men to hear what the women had to say. And it was very interactive. They all were very involved, it had a lot to say. And I talk about things also about like knowing what you want, and I think that goes for both genders. It's not just women, but men need to also know what they're looking for in a relationship and when they're meeting a woman, and also recognize those things early on, like if this person is loud, if this person is obnoxious, this person, not a patient person. Like these are all things that you can tell early on. Even having a conversation with someone, you can tell these things. But I would say one of the most important things where I think men and women can benefit is like the stuff I talk about with becoming friends first. Because I think for any relationship to last, you have to have the friendship. Because after the sex is gone and all that other stuff is gone, you gotta have something to fall back on where you can really appreciate each other and be there for each other, and you can be yourself. You don't have to try to be somebody that you're not. So, definitely I think both male and female could, definitely get something from this book.
So, can you tell the viewers what made you decide to write this book, especially this topic? It's a very strong title. So, what made you to go on this topic and write about it?
Well, because of so many people asking me questions about their relationships, just girlfriends, my sisters, just having conversations with people about, why they're not feeling that they're finding what they're looking for in a relationship. And I remember I was at a birthday party with my sisters, and we were all sitting at a table, and we were talking, and then we started, we had a couple of glasses of wine, and all of a sudden we started talking about the men. And, we just started like venting, it was like a platform for us to vent, like why do men do this? Why are they so insensitive? Why don't they understand how we feel? Why don't they ever know what we're thinking? So I think that's what inspired me. And also at the party, there was a lot more women than there were men. And And that was just like a perfect example to me that, you know, women just need to expand how they're looking to attract the right man and not just look in a setting of a party to find that right man. So, you know, my sister said to me, we were talking, she's like, Georgia, you know, you should write a book about that, because I'm always giving people advice. I'm like, yeah, I should write a book about it. And that's kind of how the book started, and I just started getting ideas left and right from there. And then, you know, I just started interviewing some guys and I interviewed some women, and I kind of like got both perspectives and put both in the book.
So the subtitle is No More Settling. It's very strong, you know what I'm saying? Why did you choose that subtitle for the book?
Because I feel that it's time for us women to stand up and stop settling for men that we know are not right for us from the very beginning. I feel that, and this is not just in relationships, I feel that you could set a standard for what kind of job you want to do, what kind of money you want to make, what kind of relationship you want to be in. It all starts in the mind. And we have the power to control what we want and what we don't want. And I think that a lot of times, especially when women get older, they feel like the options are slimmer. And so they end up dating a guy that they know is, I would say, belongs to somebody else, just so that they can say, I have a man, or just so they can have somebody to sleep with at night. And that's not the right reason to have a man. Not because the society says at a certain age you should have a baby, you should get married, you should be with somebody. You know, you shouldn't do it for that reason, but it should be that you're ready to settle down with the person because you're mentally ready. And you know, I just found that, like, you know, too many women are settling and they don't have to, and it really saddens me to see so many nice, educated, beautiful women just in the same circle of relationship, and them becoming depressed, and this man, like, you know, you see somebody that's like got it together so much, and then they end up dating a guy that makes them feel like less than a penny because their self-esteem is low. So, you know, my whole thing is that, you know, women have to wake up and they have to see it early and know when to run.
That's what it is. That's what's up. All right. Another chapter in the book, it says the do's and don'ts. What are the do's and don'ts in attracting the right man?
Well, there are many don'ts. There are a lot of do's, but there are many don'ts. I'll start with the do's. You definitely, you want to be independent. You want to have your own. You want this man to know that you can take care of yourself. So you do want to be independent. You do want to take care of yourself physically, be fit, because when you're that way, you're more confident. And men are always attracted to women that are confident in the way they present themselves. So that's important. Another do that I talk about is set the standards for what you want in a relationship. Don't just, you know, go into a relationship thinking, okay, this is all I can get. Let him know. If you're looking for something serious, tell him early. So do put the things on the table, lay it on the table, what you're looking for with this guy. Let him know early so that, you know, if a guy tells you he's not looking for something serious, don't waste your time, because you already know, he already put it out on the table. You know, just because you sleep with him doesn't mean he's going to change his mind. So, you know, just definitely lay things on the table and just be honest with yourself and what you want and what you don't want. And some of the don'ts I talk about is, you know, don't settle for what you think you can get. Go for what you want, because I believe you could always get what you want if you put your mind to it. Another do I talk about is, you know, just be positive, be focused. You know, when I say when you carry that positive energy and that focused energy, you attract those kind of men to you. It's like they'll start coming to you like flies. Like once you set your mind to it and you say, this is what I want to attract it, they'll start popping up. But sometimes people are caught up in their past relationships, so don't carry your old baggage from your old relationship to your new relationship, because a lot of times you're blocking the path for somebody to meet you because you're so caught up emotionally tied to this person that you broke up with 10 years ago, but your emotions are still with this person. You can't meet anybody else. You can't move on. Exactly. So there's just a lot of really good gems that I share in the book that women really need to, you know, check it out and get the information so they don't make the mistake twice or even 3 times.
Where can they find this book? Where can they get it? I know, you know, it's out there. It's circling. I've been hearing the buzz about it. So, you know, let them know where they can find it.
Well, they can get it at Barnes & Nobles soon. Within the next few months, it'll be available in Barnes & Nobles because I'm working out a contract with them now. And they can go to my website, which is www.georgiawoodbine.net. And they can also call me toll free at 888-340-3409.
Cool.
Amazon, also online. I mean, I'm all over. I have a lot of websites, so they could just Google me anywhere and they can get information about the book.
Right. Swag Train, you heard it. We'd like to thank the lovely Miss Georgia Woodbine for writing her book and sharing some very nice, thoughtful information that both men and women should get this book. So go out there, support the sister, get the book. Once again, another Swag Train episode. I'm your host, DJ St. Q, and I'm out. Peace and blessings.